Hi, fifth grade. I hope you're doing well. Can you believe it? Oh, today is the last day of our online video math class. We will have our last live session on Thursday. So I hope to see each and every one of you there on Thursday. Okay, so pause the video, try numbers 5, 6, and 7 on your own. And when you're ready, let's check our answers together. Okay, so let's see what you got. So for number 5, I know I have to do 3 times 3, which is 9. And then I have to do 3 times 0, which is 0. Then I'm going to drop the decimal point in the same spot, which is right there, so 0.9. Now for number 6, 2 times 4 is 8. Then I have to do 2 times 0, which is 0. Then I have to do 2 times 0, which is 0. And I'm going to drop the decimal point right there in the same spot. And then for number 7, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 1. I'm sorry, 4. 4 times 1 is 4. And then I'm going to drop the decimal place right here in the same position. So it's 40.48. Okay, so pause the video, do numbers 7, 10, and 16. Thanks. All right, welcome back. So let's look at number 7. We have a decimal and we're multiplying by 8 tens. Okay, so that's 8 groups of 10. So, which is the same thing as saying 8 times 10. So 0.127 times 80 becomes 0.127 times 8 times 10. Because I have the same operation of multiplication sign over here, the times sign, I'm going to do 0.127 times 8 first, according to Penda. So I'm going to put that in parentheses to show me, oh, okay, I have to do that first. And I wrote that out here for us. So 0.127 times 8, let's do 7 times 8, which is 56. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 5 is 21. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. And then I'm going to drop the decimal point in the same spot, right here. Okay, so that becomes 1.016 times 10. And when I multiply by a 10, I know that I just need to move the decimal point over one spot to the right. And my pocket that I created by doing that over here, this little dip here, is filled with the number. And then so now it is 10.16 as my answer. Let's look at number 10. We have 2.6 times 500. Or we can say, think of it as 2.56 times 5 groups of 100. And 5 groups of 100 is 5 times 100. Okay? Like this. So 2.6 times 500 is the same thing as saying 2.6 times 5 times 100. So I'm going to do 2.6 times 5 first. And I wrote it out here for us, okay, on this board. So let's do this. So 5 times 6 is 30. So I'm going to put up my 30 like this. Okay. And then 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. And then I'm going to drop the decimal point in the same spot here. So I get 13.0. Okay. And I just wrote it as 13 on your screen. And then I'm going to, because I'm multiplying by 100, I know I have to move the decimal point over 2 places here, which creates 2 pockets. And my 2 pockets are empty, and I always have to fill my pockets. So I'm going to fill it with zeros, okay? And so Now that becomes the answer 1,300. That's my answer. Okay, let's look at 16. 16 is 0.46 times 6,000, or we can think of it as 0.46 times 6 groups of 1,000, okay, like this. And then I'm going to multiply 0.46 times 6 first. And I wrote it out here for us on this whiteboard. Okay, so let's figure this out together. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2. And then we're going to drop the decimal point right here. All right. And let's put that there, okay, on the screen. So 2.76 times 1,000, because I'm multiplying by 1,000, I know I have to move the decimal point 3 places to the right, okay. And so once I do that, I see, oh, it creates one empty pocket here, okay. So I'm going to fill that pocket with a 0, and so my answer becomes 2,760. All right, let's do numbers 16 and 19. Please pause the video and give it a try. All right, let's look at 16. So I wrote that division sentence as a long division sentence like this, okay? And so how many times? 5 times what gets me 0? Oh, 5 times 0 gets me 0. So I'm going to subtract 0 from 0, and that's 0. So let's drop the 8. 5 times what gets me 8, or gets me close to 8 without going over? It's just 1. Okay? What's 5 times 1? It's 5, so I'm going to subtract the 5 from the 8, and that gives me a 3. And now I can't get, let's see, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a trailing 0 to my 0.8, because that doesn't change my value of 0.8. Okay? So I added a trailing 0, and then I'm going to drop my trailing 0. So now I have a 30. 5 times what gets me 30? That's 6. So 5 times 6 gets me 30. I'm going to subtract 30 from 30, and I get 0. But I'm not done, because I have to put my decimal point in the same spot right there. Now I'm done. Okay, so 0.8 divided by 5 is 0.16. Number 19, I wrote 3.39 divided by 6 as long division like this. Okay, so 6 times what gets me to 3, or close to 3 without going over? That's just 0. Okay, so 6 times 0 is 0, so I'm going to subtract 0, and I get 3 here. Now I'm going to drop the 3 here in the tens place. Okay? So then now 6 times what gets me 33, or close to 33 without going over? That's 5, right? Because 6 times 5 is 30. Okay? And then 33 minus 30 is 3. And then I'm going to drop the 9. Now 6 times what gets me to 39, or close to 39 without going over? That's 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. So I'm going to subtract 36 from 39, which I get as 3. Let's add a trailing 0 here, because once I add a trailing 0 here, 3.39 is equal to 3.390. The value is still the same. So let's drop the trailing 0. So 6 times what gets me to 30? It's 5. So I'm going to subtract 30, I get 0, but I'm not done, because I can't forget to add the decimal point right there. Okay, now I'm done. So 3.39 divided by 6 is 0.565. Okay, can you please complete number 1? on your own. And I will see you in a bit. Okay, well, let's look at number one. Well, first, I am dividing by 10 with these numbers here. And when I divide by 10, that means I move the decimal point over to the left once. Okay. Notice here, you have to be distinguished between the commas, which looks a little bit longer than a decimal point here. Okay. So that's a comma, and these are decimal points here. Okay. So when I divide by 10, I have to move the decimal point over to the left, just one space, and I have to make sure my pockets are filled, which they are. So my answers are like this here. Okay. So you can pause the video to check your answers versus what I have on my screen. Now our next row here, okay, I'm going to divide these numbers here by 100. That means I have to move the decimal place over to the left 2 spots. Okay. So there it is. Now I'm going to check, do all my pockets have a number in it? Oh, this one doesn't. This pocket's empty, so I have to put a 0 in there, okay, to fill the pocket. Now I'm ready to write my answers. Okay, so here are my answers. And, ooh, maybe I didn't write my answers for that one. So let's see. So 47.8 becomes 0.478 and then 0.047. Okay, so these are my answers for this one here. 47.8 divided by 100 is 0.478, and 4.7 divided by 100 is 0.047. Okay. So now I'm going to, let's look at the third row. Our third row, we're going to divide by 1,000. So I'm going to move the decimal point 3 places to the left. Okay. So let's do that here. Oh, there it is. I wrote the answers there. Okay. So let's move it over 3 places to the left. Okay. And are all my pockets filled? Let's see. Yep, they're all filled. Okay. And here are the answers. So pause the video to check your answers with the answers on the screen. All right. Well, let's celebrate. Woo! We're at the end of our online math videos. I really love you guys a lot, and I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of all the effort you've put into math and trying your best to understand and to learn and to grow. And I really, really appreciate all of your hard work during the class, and I had a lot of fun getting to know you guys. Thank you for being amazing students. Alright, bye. I'll see you on Thursday during our last live class. Make sure you're there because I want to see you. Bye.